look like a skeleton. I look insane.
I gave myself osteoporosis, so we'll just hit off with a big banger like that.
Having this much anxiety and no sleep was completely normal, but it was just really lack of, nutrition.
My sex drive going to zero. Oh, that's the worst. Welcome to episode 18 of the Believe in Action podcast. I'm Michelle West, coach, performer, and founder of Be a Nutrition, and I am here with
Coach Emily.
And Coach Megan.
Hey, ladies, how's it going?
Hey, good.
Good to see y'all. First of all, this is my first podcast in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Right, crazy.
Yes,
How does it feel?
It feels good. It feels good. I'm happy to be here. And I wish Matt was here, but he's back in New Jersey. But we are feeling good and accustomed. This is my first week. Literally, I have been here now for a week. Tomorrow. It'll be officially a week tomorrow. But this week went by so fast. I was like, geez, what is happening?
Mm-hmm.
Have you explored around the area yet?
To be honest, I've really just been focusing on BIA stuff. Getting my T's crossed and my I's dotted, making sure that, the business is here. And staying afloat while I'm here. So I really haven't done any much wandering around. But I do know how to get to the gym without GPS now.
And the gym looks freaking sick.
It's huge.
Yes.
It's huge. So the last time that we were here, they were this Crunch. I go to Crunch Hamilton Place. And it was only one story. So they're above a Dick's Sporting Goods. So in their weight section, they were having issues with the Dick's because people were dropping the weights on the floor. So the Dick's are like, yeah, nah, you can't be doing that no more. If you want to have the space, you either close down the gym completely or you expand it to the downstairs. So the upstairs is a 10,000 square foot facility. Downstairs is now another 10,000 square feet. So they were like, nah, we're going to keep it open. They expanded it to the downstairs. So now the weights are all downstairs and it's like a whole spread out, all matrix machines down there. And then upstairs is like the cardio equipment. They got one Smith machine there. They're going to add 4 more Smith machines. They got a lot of space now to add way more machines. They said they were going to put a bunch of hoist machines up there. And I was like, I'm not really a big fan of hoist, but whatever. But they're going to put those. And honestly, I was like, you could put a little posing room in the back, to be honest. You got so much darn space. And honestly, people here they're gym goers. They're muscle mommies here.
Hell yeah.
I was like, come on, muscle mommies. There's a lot of people who are fit here in Chattanooga. I wasn't expecting that. And so there's definitely a gym community. So I'm sure as soon as I start showing my face a little bit more, I'll, be around the people who are going to the gym at the same time as me. But I've been going 2 times, getting up in the morning, going to do my cardio, and then going later and getting my training done. So this is the first week that last week I didn't train at all since I was in the midst of the move. But this week I went back to training, which was great. So yeah, that's my new gym.
Nice.
Crazy. Yeah. And it's so funny. We're talking about the muscle mommy, but we'll go back to that. Let's go. Let's check up with you all on your last 7 days. How's everything going with you, Coach Megan?
Everything's been going good. We're just getting ready for the holiday coming
Holidays.
up. Holiday
Time.
Ramping up for that. I feel like all I'm doing is booking all the shows and stuff that we want to go do and see for the holidays. So yeah,
Nice.
It's been good.
What's your favorite holiday between Thanksgiving and Christmas? What's your favorite?
They say Christmas. Yeah.
Mhm.
There's a lot to do around here during that time. It's endless. So
Nice.
Yeah.
So fun. What's Phoenix's favorite holiday? Is
Well,
it Christmas?
hers is Halloween, but if she had to pick,
Yes.
it would be Christmas would be the
Nice.
second. Yeah.
Nice. Love it. Did you hear the whole thing with the K-pop demon hunters? How they don't have any toys for this year?
No.
Have you heard about that? Okay, so this is what happened.
I believe it.
All right, so they don't have any toys in production for K-pop demon hunters for this Christmas, which is a huge upset for them because they can make a lot of money
Yeah,
on
money
because
lost.
the thing was been so popular. The reason why they don't have toys for it is because they weren't suspecting that this movie was going to be a hit.
Yeah.
So they didn't put any toys in productions for this because they would have to plan it way ahead of time. So like when it before it even drops, you start the toy production. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to keep the hype of K-pop Demon Hunters so that the thing can be so the toys can drop next year for Christmas and be in production now. So they were like, I was like, I feel like the only way that you can kind of like do that is to do like a K-pop Demon Hunters 2. Like you have to do I feel like you got to do another movie.
Right, but that's the thing because Netflix bought it off of Sony for super cheap. So that's why everyone's like, how is there going to be a second one if Sony is the one that created it? Like, how is that contract going to work? So people are like, there might not be. But I agree, there needs to be a second one to keep the hype up.
To keep the hype up, right? Like for the thing. Because like I said, I was today years old when I learned that Wicked was a 2-part series. I thought I was literally confused because I was all this week everybody's like, I'm going to Wicked. I was like, wait, did this already happen? Why is this why are we re-hyping Wicked up? I'm so confused.
You should have seen how confused I was when I watched the first one because I didn't know there was going to be a second one. I like come to the end and I was like, wait, what? And my friend was like, there's a second one. I was like, oh,
that's insane. Okay. So I didn't even watch the first one, so I guess I can't really speak on it. So, but I know the show. You know what I mean? Yeah. I know Wicked. I've seen Wicked 3 times. The Broadway production, and I just did you see part 1
of the movie? Yes,
you saw it. So where did they end the movie? Was it at and that's the end?
Yeah.
Oh, so they did do a part 1, part 2.
Yes, that's why I was confused when I saw part 1. I was like, wait.
That's crazy. Okay, so they did 2 movies. That's smart. They did part 1 of Act 1 and then part 2 is Act 2. That's crazy. Wow. Okay, so we got Wicked, we got K-pop Demon Hunters, we got we got Phoenix knowing that Halloween is her favorite, but we got holidays coming up. I love it. That's amazing. I need to come to California for the holidays so I can see how it is out there.
It's fun. There's a lot to do.
Nice. Awesome. Emily, how was your last 7 days? How's everything going?
It's been good. I ended up getting the results back from all the like testing I've had done. And it turns out that I do have like mold in my system. So I know that's not like a positive, but the positive is that, I don't have to be on this like restrictive gut protocol now. So we were able to like switch out some of my food sources and my calories are now up by like about 400. So I'm loving it. I'm feeling great. And I got pho last night from like a restaurant and it was so good to actually eat a meal from like a place because it's been months. So yeah, that was the highlight of my week for sure.
Cool. That's amazing. Love it. I'm glad we figured out the mold stuff, but I'm so curious about this mold protocol and what the heck that's going to be like for you and how you're going to feel. But hopefully we clear all the things out.
I sure hope so. I'll keep you posted though.
Keep me posted. Definitely. All right. Let's hop into this podcast. We're going to be talking about hashtag skinny talk and this, and please don't bring it back is what I'm saying on this. So what really sparked this conversation for me was I had saw this before and after post of the Wicked cast and how they're just getting leaner and leaner and leaner from like movie number 1 to movie number 2. And it's actually crazy drastic on multiple of the cast members seeing like how lean they're getting. Have y'all seen that? Like
when you did the side by side the other day, I was like concerned.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah. I mean, Ariana Grande has always kind of been under rep for this. It has been like about like size warping. She's done this before. She's always been a pretty tiny person. And there's a whole the discussion about like how she, kind of warped when she was going more towards the R&B route and this was a whole topic about like her switching her like kind of code switching, I guess you could say, and code switching her look, and people are thinking like, well, she's Latina, and it's like, no, that girl's white. And no, she's not Latina, that girl is white. Okay. And that whole process. So now you see it going in the opposite direction. And Cynthia Rhee, though, I was like, yo, this is the leanest I've actually ever seen her. It's very interesting, very shocking. But I just want us to talk about how, you know, I really want everyone to know that there is a happy medium between you know, body types and what it is. And this is not to shame anybody. If you come from a skinny body and that's something that you strive to and that's something that you want to do, baby girl, I said this on my story, do what you want at this point. Like, I'm not telling you what you do and do not want to do, but I'm going to say that there are going to be repercussions for you being or wanting to be this lean. And take it from someone who has been this lean. You got two people actually here who have been this lean before. And Emily has had a definitely deep experience on this. And also I have had experience with it, with being literally voluntarily getting there due to bodybuilding competitions and stuff like that. So I don't actually know about you, Megan. Have you ever been like that lean before? Like low body fat percentage, like 10% body fat?
Very, very low. Yes.
Tell me a little bit more about that. I'm actually curious about like what was that process for you? Like,
it was disordered eating. So yeah, and it was, you know, stemming from like being in the dance community and everybody being very, very thin and yeah, so very disordered eating. I was very, very small, probably like 115 at my lowest, and I'm you know, I'm a solid 160 with a lot of muscle, so it was definitely and it's not a great feeling.
So we're going to talk about those like not great feelings of like when you are that lean. And this is not even anything that I want to be like, you know, I don't want it to be a scare tactic, but I just want to speak on it based on experience, right? Because some people do see the glitz and glam of it, and I'm a culprit of that, right? When you get that lean, and then all of a sudden you're seeing me on stage, and you see me in a glittery bikini, and you're like, oh, she's living her best life. It's like you don't see what's happening on the inside of what is my experience, and I feel like I do a pretty good job with telling people that like, yo, bro, I'm tired. I'm hungry. Sex drive is 0. Period gone. All the stuff when I'm getting that lean. And I've also contemplated back and forth whether I wanted to compete again, if I want to go back to stage, because I really like my body composition right now. I like where I'm at. And I know after doing, you know, this is my 3rd prep, being here makes me feel the best. And I just want to feel the best all the time and not have to go through that process of getting super, super lean and, you know, going through the reverse after that. Cause the reverse is tough after that. And then finding that steady point. So I just kind of want to talk about like, just from our experiences of being that lean, what were the side effects that came with that? Because if you are a woman and you get to lower body fat percentage, you will see detriments to how you function. So I kind of want to let's go to Emily. What were the things that you experienced like when you were super, super lean and you feel as though that you don't experience anymore? Just kind of give me a rundown.
Yeah, so for one thing, I will say I gave myself osteoporosis. So we'll just hit off with a big banger like that. And I've gotten myself good now, so we're all good. But I had like, apparently my bones were the equivalent of like a 70-year-old, which is super concerning when you're like 15. That's not supposed to happen. Your bones are supposed to last you the rest of your life. So when I found out about that, like I was like, yeah, I'm concerned. But like when you're 15, you think you're invincible because your brain hasn't fully developed till you're like the age of 25. But I would say the main things I experienced were like I lost my period. So that can contribute to the bone density loss, extreme weakness. So like it got to a point where like in high school, when I was around 17, like I could barely even carry my books or my backpack. Like I was like dropping them all the time. I was like 67 pounds at my worst, same height that I am now at 5'1", like crazy. Like I could like do this around my legs. I could like do this around the top of my arm. Like, and it was like so crazy because there's this body dysmorphia that comes with it where you think you're like huge. Like I genuinely thought I was like going to be obese if I like ate more food than what I was having, which was like pretty much nothing. Like my day was just like, you know, skip breakfast. I would even feel guilty just putting almond milk in my coffee.
Mm.
And then I would come home from school and basically like I had an eating disorder. So this is not like just disordered eating. This is like, I would binge and purge for about like 10 hours from the moment I
Mm.
got home from school, just like 10 hours straight. And basically that cycle lasted for around 12 years in like different levels of severity. So yeah, and then I was always cold. So even in the summer, like, I'd be boating with my parents. It would be like 95 degrees, but I'd be wearing like a hoodie and like just like sweatpants and stuff like that. And I'd have straight up goosebumps. I was freezing. Anytime we'd go out to a restaurant, I would just get so stressed out because I was like, oh my gosh, like, do I just not get anything? Or do
Mm.
I order the whole menu and then figure out how I can discreetly sneak to the bathroom? Like
Ooh.
trying to figure these things out. So I was constantly stressed. And just being in that environment, like at a restaurant with people, would give me like these heart palpitations because I would get
Mm.
so anxious. I was just anxious all the time. And I thought I had, anxiety, depression. So they put me on all these medications. But then it's like once I actually recovered, I didn't really have those issues like that, like it wasn't really that bad. I was like, okay, like I still do I'm naturally like a bit of an anxious person, but like not like that, like not to
Mhm.
the point where it's like that. So yeah, I lost my hair. There was one point where I had to wear like, like a topper because like all the hair was falling out of my head. So I had to
Mm.
like put something on top to cover the bald spots so I would look like normal and stuff.
Mhm.
Um Trying to think of other things, GI issues up the wazoo. Sometimes I'd go like 13 days without pooping. Dental issues. I'm lucky I have all of my teeth, but I have several friends who struggled with the same thing as me and like they lost their teeth. They have dentures. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy. So yeah, so many different things. I mean, I could give you so much more, but like those are like probably the worst things.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. What do you feel as though that when did you feel as though when you were going through your recovery process of that you felt like I'm okay with putting on weight. I'm okay with putting on size because realistically, when you are that lean and the only way to be able to kind of like help with that process is to eat a little bit more food and put on some body fat. And I'm sure that is can be tough coming from a place of like being very small and then, having that realization. When did you like kind of have that to be like, I'm okay with putting on weight?
Yeah, so there was like this like eating disorder recovery community where it was like people who weren't really recovered, but they just like spoke as if they were. And so I completely left that community and just like dove headfirst into the gym community because it's so, so different.
Mhm.
And people would make fun of me and be like, oh my gosh, like what a stereotype, like the pipeline from, eating disorder to like gym muscle person, whatever. They're like, oh, like, how predictable. And so I would just be like, okay, like I don't care. Like I'm just going to do it.
Mhm.
And for me it was like basically I just wanted to save my own life. So I was like, okay, if I end up gaining some weight, like that's fine because I get to live. I get to do things and I think I just reached a point where I was like I just want to live. I just want to have a body that works properly and doesn't have all of these issues. So I think once I started going to the gym and saw myself building muscle and putting on some body fat, I was like, okay, like my fear of becoming like, 1,000,000 pounds is not actually happening. And it was
Mhm.
reassuring to see that, like, oh, like I actually look pretty good when I eat more food and I lift at the same time. Cause in the past, I had been to treatment centers where they force feed you and they threaten you with like tube feeding and all of these
Mm.
things where they put a tube down your nose. And if you refuse, they'll like restrain you. And so there's just a lot of like
Sheesh.
medical trauma with that. So I always refused and I was like, it's fine, I'll just eat. I'll just eat. But, they would put you through this rigorous like food protocol recovery thing where like, I would gain like 45 pounds in like just a couple of months.
Yeah.
So I was like very traumatized by that because they also wouldn't let us exercise. Like they wouldn't let us leave the building or
Mm.
get any fresh air. Like, they'd have me on bed rest or like wheelchair, whatever. So I had never like recovered or like at least recovered my body in a way that included exercise and building muscle. So once
Yeah.
I combined the two, I was just like, you know what? This ain't so bad. I actually kind of like this. I'm good. This
Yeah.
is this is fine. So yeah. So as soon as I found the gym and started seeing my body change in a way I liked, I was like, you know what? I can be okay with this. This is good.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. I love that. That's amazing. Megan, I'm gonna take it over to you of like you said you were 115 pounds and now you're sitting at a stacked 160, baby. Yes, that's what I like to see.
Yes.
How does that make you feel, like, in your body now, like, versus what you were experiencing before as smaller? Do you feel more comfortable in your body? Do you feel as though that you want to, like, what was your whole process with that?
Yeah, I definitely feel a lot more confident with
Hmm.
curves and that took a long time and kind of very similar to Emily. Like that shift didn't happen until I started working in a gym and I started being around the gym community, understanding like, oh damn, like you can have a good body and weigh a lot more and look fine, you know?
Hmm.
So that was probably like that big shift of being around that. And then I, got really into eating a lot more food and building the muscle and all of the things. And the period came back. The sleep was so much better. Like I had insomnia for probably a decade, to be honest. And I
Sheesh.
was just thought that was normal. I just thought that was normal. I thought having this much anxiety and no sleep was completely normal, but it was just really lack of, nutrition, fuel, and treating your body respectively. So
Yep,
yeah.
absolutely. There's the women's health podcast that I told all the women,
Yes.
all the BIA baddies to listen to. I'm referring to a Diary of a CEO. They have the four, women's health speakers on there. Dr. Stacy Sims is one of them, and I really love her. I think she's great. She comes from that exercise science background, but the other ones are great. I just learned about them for the first time. And the OBGYN, I forget her name specifically on top of my head. She's amazing, bro. She's speaking so well on the podcast. I'm not finished it, but I want to continue it. And the main thing that they talk about is this. They talk about like women who are just so obsessed because we came up in that, they're much older, like they're in their 40s and 50s. So they've come up on that time where it's just like be the skinniest you could possibly be, low body fat, low mass as much as possible. And that's the look. Like what is it called? Not cocaine chic. What is it?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I'm talking about something chic or
Heroin
like
chic.
heroin chic.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that is the thing, heroin chic and like being small. And they mainly talk about in that podcast that if they could change one thing about what they were doing before until now is they would eat fuel more and they would recover. Be okay with taking up space. Be okay with taking up space. And how women, we want to be in the fact of like not trying to be as small as possible and not taking up space. And I am truly like I just sit in the center. So because I come from the opposite background than you two. Like I don't come from a background of eating disordered or disordered eat. Actually, you know what? I will say that I do feel as though eating too much is
Yeah.
disordered eating. You know what I mean?
For
I
sure.
came
Yeah.
from that background, right? Like,
Yeah.
or a disordered relationship with food. It wasn't like, oh, I'm like, binging or purging, but it was like, no, I was eating too much. So I come from the bigger bone background and I lost a lot of weight and I found this happy medium. And, I've talked a lot about that. And that's usually has been my like journey of teaching women of, how to get from a higher, body fat percentage to a lower body fat percentage. But it's like you're not getting too low. You're getting to a point where your body is happy, it's healthy, it's not too high, it's not too low. It's where muscle percentage is nice and high. You're training, you feel good, you have a good sex drive, you have your period. Like we're celebrating our periods every single month, like all of those things and being in that happy center. And I still stand for that today. Um so when they're talking about like fueling yourself and taking up space, I'm just like, yes, this is exactly what we need to do. And when I see some of these creators who are talking about, oh, I went from muscle mommy to Pilates-princess, and you're seeing that shift in their body, the one thing that they're not talking about is the diet. And it actually is very, very troublesome on how you see people who are like, well, if I just do Pilates, then I'll have that Pilates shape or I have that Pilates body, that long, lean, toned muscle. And I'm just like, if you scroll on some of these creators' TikToks, you can, sorry, not on TikToks, but Instagram. I'm not on TikTok, but on Instagram, whatever. And you see their relationship with food, they will post something here and there talking about how like, oh, they got too lean and they need to eat a little bit more. Or, this is the food that I eat now because something was going on with me. You lost your period? Yeah, you're this big. I'm not surprised. Like you're not that body didn't come from a change in training modality. That body came from a change in your food intake. And that's you're essentially not eating. You're essentially not eating. And I just want to make sure that everybody knows that there is a place where when you get like there is a world where like eating too much can be a detrimental to you and eating too little also could be a detrimental to you. You need to be in this happy balance. And that's what I feel like we do a good job with teaching people here at BIA. But it just depends on where somebody is coming from. And it's a hard thing to realize that you got to be in the center. We can't be too much, it's like that, too much of something can be a detriment to them, And so I want everyone to really realize that, you got to be careful of what you consume on Instagram. You got to be careful of what you consume on social media, because that skinny talk lifestyle is really just like, they're not telling you the whole picture. They're not telling you the whole thing. And I had somebody else reach out to me that was talking about like the PED usage and how like she came from that muscle mommy and came from that bodybuilder style lifestyle. I'm talking about one creator specifically that I saw. I'm not going to put her name out there because I don't think it's important. But she actually used to train at Brett Contreras' in Florida at his training facility. And he's a bodybuilder. He's all about building the glutes. He's all about being a muscle mommy. That is his whole thing. And she came from that training and that style. And she was probably doing PED usage. And when you are using PEDs in the bodybuilding space, like you keep a specific type of physique. You know what I mean? Like a physique can be, your idea of what a physique looks like can be a little bit warped there as well. So, and I told the girl, I was like, it's so funny that you mentioned PEDs because I don't even think about PEDs because I don't use them. So I always forget.
For people who don't know, they're performance enhancing drugs you're referring to. Yes. Okay.
Yes. Performance enhancing drugs. And it's like, I don't use them. So it's not, I always forget that they're a thing.
Right. You don't need them.
Because I usually just ignore that world. And I just train. And eat. And that's literally all I do. But there is a interesting world there when it comes to, going too far in the extremes of that side as well. But there is a happy medium. And let's just talk about like that happy medium where we kind of want clients to be. Because I think there's so much there, right? When Meg you just said the thing that I think is super important is that when you are not eating, you can throw off your whole circadian rhythm. You can throw off your whole gut. So if you have that insomnia and everything, then you're not going to sleep, then you're going to risk your body for recovery. And then recovery is going to take a hit. And then now you're going to be of course your hormonal profile is going to go down. Of course your thyroid is going to slow down. Of course of all these things are all of these extra things are going to happen. Osteopenia, osteoporosis, all of those things. We just as women want to be as strong as possible. As strong as possible. That's why I'm big on you need to be going to the gym and you need to be lifting weights. But I also want our women to understand like there is a happy medium and a happy balance when it comes to food too. So what have y'all experienced like from clients when you see them embrace eating more food and actually maybe they do lose body fat. Who knows sometimes you see that happen. But when they start to eat more food and they start to get into this rhythm of like, oh, I understand what you're talking about. What have y'all seen like as far as positives with the clients?
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go.
Sorry. Yeah, I was gonna say like just an increase in energy, increase
Mhm.
in like better recovery as well. I have a particular client in mind who I'm thinking of. She used to do a lot of like CrossFit type workouts, and she was just feeling super burnt out. So we, switched over to weight training. And before we entered into a fat loss phase, we started increasing her food. And at first there was like a little bit of resistance, which is understandable, especially if you've never eaten that much before. And so we slowly increased, and then now she's down like, I don't know, like 30 something pounds at this point, at least. And so she looks amazing, and we're still going strong. And so, yeah, obviously now naturally her food is lower. But before we did that, like we really worked her food up. And so now, like her relationship with food is so much better, so that when her food is lower, it's not like this big thing where it almost like triggers that like diet type of mentality. It's like, no, I'm fueling my body, but I'm just eating a little bit less. So naturally, I may have a little bit less energy. So I kind of have to, control how I expend it at the gym, like maybe go a little bit lighter, not go as hard, and just kind of monitor recovery and stuff like that. But yeah, I think her relationship with food has just changed so much. And so even in her sculpting phase right now, like she's been able to go out to eat several times. And, even if she feels like, yeah, I kind of maybe overdid it a little bit on that one occasion, it's like, it's not the end of the world, because it's like, okay, it's just one day. So like that mentality of like, it's just one day is huge, as opposed to like, oh my gosh, my whole week is ruined, and just letting it be a whole week, as opposed to like, no, I enjoyed myself and now I just get back to it. So I think that mindset has been huge.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Coach Megan.
Yeah, definitely the energy increase, the being able to sleep better. Usually you'll notice your body start shifting and changing. It might not show on the scale, but like they're seeing like, damn, okay, I do have some really good muscles and I'm liking this, and I have my glutes are developing, and all of that goes into play. I also think it's really important. I think we do a really good job at this but yeah, when we do take them through all of the phases, so they know, okay, you're in a sculpt phase. Okay, do you feel more tired? Okay, yeah. So that's what a caloric deficit feels like. That's why we don't want to be in it all the time. That's why every single week, we're checking in on our clients to make sure, okay, cool, we still have our cycle, because that's a really good indicator of like hormones are still functioning. You're doing really well in your sculpt. And taking them through that process and making sure we're really reflecting on like, this is why we don't stay in a sculpt forever. We reverse back up so we get you back to feeling amazing. We work with a ton of performers, and the number one thing they say to me is they just want to be able to perform and feel good and not dead afterwards. And that's
Yep.
really, really, really important. So yeah, the energy, the mindset around it, overcoming all of that, and then sleeping really well and having your menstrual cycle. The other thing I'll say too, especially for my clients that are looking into fertility as well, you want to make
Hello.
sure that a lot of women will be like, I've got to make sure I am as skinny as I can be before I get pregnant, because I'm going to gain
Right.
weight. But that's actually going to really do you a disservice if you're trying
Yep.
to, get pregnant. You really do need to eat the right food. So that's the other thing when it comes to women and women health, and work with some of my clients right now that are doing that same thing. We're eating more food so we can get you pregnant as soon as possible.
Yep. I remember I working with a client that I can think of at the top of my head, and she thought that right after her pregnancy, that the first thing that she would need to do is decrease her calories. I was like, can't wait to show you that you're going to be eating like 2,300. And I had to work her calories up. And she was breastfeeding at the time. And I was like, ooh, breastfeeding? No, 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 baby. You not going into no caloric deficit until we are done. When you say, hey, I'm ready to not be breastfeeding anymore and I'm taking that off of you, then we can go into caloric deficit. Until then, no, you will be right here with me eating more food. And it was so beautiful because I remember her body literally just shape shifting. And the entire time during her, taking care of her newborn, I was like, your priority right now is, if you can go to the gym, great. The other priority is eating more food. And the other priority is getting as much sleep as possible, because I know you just had a baby. So we're going to fit in. I know you're getting 4 hours a night, but we're going to fit in some naps here, and we're going to make sure that that is in check. And then just her body shape shifting into something different, and her seeing her strength train. She was only strength training like 2 to 3 times a week, no cardio, walking. She went back. I remember her going back to her Broadway show, and girls talking about, oh, well, I want to, look like her. I want it like my client. And my client was just like, well, What do you think that you need to do to be able to look like me? And then their response was, oh, stop eating, cut the carbs, do whatever. And she was like, I'm going to tell y'all this right now. My coach has me eating the most food I have ever eaten in my life, and I look crazy snatched. I am more snatched than before I had my baby. And they're all just like, oh, you are not, no, you're lying. And she's like, nah, I got it on a schedule that I got to eat. I have to eat. She's making me eat. Like, I train 3 times a week. I don't do no cardio, and I eat. And I look like, she's like, look at this costume. It don't fit. And it was so beautiful to watch that shape shift happen. I've done this with a lot of clients where they came in and they thought that they only needed to eat, 1,000 calories. And I'm like, baby girl, no, you got to eat more. You got to eat more. And it is the toughest process to get someone to realize, like, oh no, I have to fuel my body. No woman on this planet in general should be eating only 1,200 calories. Like, you shouldn't. Like, you need to be eating more than that, especially if you're working out. So then you're eating 1,100 calories, 1,200 calories, and then you're training 6 times a week. That's what I see happen all the time. It's crazy. And I just personally just don't support going into just being the smallest person that you could possibly be. I personally don't like getting crazy stage lean. And I hate the response that I get from women. I'm going to put this out there. I'm sorry. I don't get this from Black women, to be honest. When I'm very lean, they be like, put some fat on you. You look crazy. From white women, Asian women, ooh, it's rough. They all come up to me and be like, oh my God, you look amazing. I'm like, what? I look like a skeleton. I look insane. This is crazy. None of my clothes fit. No, like, no. I'll go up on the stage and do my little thing. But then the first thing I want to do, I'm like, I'm ready to eat. I'm ready to get some body fat back on me.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think you did a great job the other day talking about, like, to sustain that kind of lean look, because a lot of people will come to us and they'll see all the bodybuilders, their stage look, and it's like, dude, to sustain that 5-minute stage look that you got, I mean, you know
literally
how it is, Michelle.
5 minutes.
You would not feel.
No,
we
you
would
feel like
not be
shit.
having meetings with Michelle if she had to sustain.
No, literally. And y'all know me, I be getting more pissed off. I'm not the happy-go-lucky. I be like so mad. I be like, somebody say something dumb to me, I be like, yo, fuck you, bro. I'm so mean when I'm lean like that. I'm so mean. I have the smallest tolerance. And I do want to talk about this too. My sex drive going to 0. Oh, that's the worst. I do not like that. Progesterone dropping and not having no progesterone. No. Like, no. Sorry. I like to have sex. I want to do that. And it's so this is a woman's podcast. We could keep it open about this. Like, totally. I'm 34 years old. Yes, I'll be getting it in. That's fine. I like to have sex with my husband. Correct. And I want to feel that, I want to feel, I actually like to feel an ovulation. I like to know that my period is coming. And whenever I get that lean, my period goes away. I know exactly when my period goes away. My period goes away when I am at 100, and as soon as I hit 135 or lower, 135 pounds or lower, I lose my period. It's crazy.
Yeah. Dang.
And I'm at 140 right now.
Mm-hmm.
So my period is on at 140. As soon as I hit 135, it's like, no. I probably could go one cycle at 135, but lower than that, no more period. It's like clockwork.
Crazy
how that happens. And I'm like, nah. I want my cycle, please. I want to sleep. I want my cycle. I want to feel good. I want to feel like a woman. I want to have curves. I want to have an ass. I want to feel good. And when I was talking to y'all about this, when I was in the Bahamas, people were just like, you look good.
Yeah.
I could not stop getting stopped. It was insane. Like, people were just like, who are you? And what do you do? And what do you eat? And I was just like, well, yesterday I had some eggs, some fruit. I ate some bread, some toast. That was nice. I had avocado toast. Maybe I had a slice of pizza. I went to the gym. I had that ice cream. and now I'm at the beach, like, so it's one of those things where just like, you can live a life of balance. You can live a life of balance and be happy and be a go lucky person. All you got to do is very simple things, right? Go to the gym.
Yes.
Strength train. Go to the gym and strength train. Eat. Fuel your body. If you go into your if you go into your TDEE, you find out what your chart is and you are only eating your BMR, you need to eat more, baby girl. Sorry. You got to eat more. You got to eat more. You got to fuel yourself. You got to recover. And don't be afraid of having a muscle mommy body, because she would have never had the Pilates body. Here, let's talk about this. She would have never had that Pilates body had she not gone through the muscle mommy process.
Yep, that's what a lot of them don't tell you. They've been training 3 to 4 years and then they switched. The only reason they have that physique is because they did years of strength training. And a lot of people will be like, it's Pilates. It's not.
No. She would have never had the body that she has right now without the muscle body training. And then she disclosed that she did have an eating disorder. That's why her body changed the way she did. And now her diet is, I need to eat more because I lost my period and I need to get my hormones right. I strength train also on top of my Pilates. I'm like, interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I can't deal with it. That's too much to me. That's too... Okay, Brody, I will end the podcast. He's pissed. Yes, I know. This dog is going crazy with all this house. I don't know what to do with him. Got to take him out on multiple walks. But I love y'all. Y'all have anything else to say with the skinny talk? What y'all thoughts about it? Yay or nay?
Nay on the skinny talk. The other thing I've been trying to do, if somebody comments on like, oh my God, your body is so good, I will always follow it up and I feel amazing and I am eating like 2,000 calories because I already know they're going to be like, you're eating like 1,400 calories. No. I follow it up with that to help try to break something.
I love that. I love that. I look good, but I feel good. I thank you. I look good. I feel good. And I don't say that when I'm stage lean. I'm like, thank you. I want to roll my eyes. I'm like, give me the stage real quick so I can get out of this. Lord, absolutely. Okay, Brody. Okay. I have to bring him on the podcast. Everybody say hi to my dog.
Cute. We love
He
him.
is too
We
much.
can't be mad at you. We can't be mad. You're so cute. Oh, he's like, kiss me, Mom.
Nah, this dog is crazy as hell. I don't care what nobody says. This dog is a menace. Okay?
Oh, so cute though.
He's so cute. Like, yeah,
are his eyes blue?
That's a great question. No, it's like brown.
Okay, he's so cute. I should bring Teddy on next time.
Yeah, bring Teddy. And then bring
He'll be like squirming.
Yeah, I'll bring the cats.
I love the cat. The cat's meows in the backgrounds are hilarious. I love it.
She's locked up because otherwise she would be going crazy.
I should have locked him out of this too. Well, I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for coming on and talking about this. This is great. We are, if anybody is wanting to join us and you want to be skinny, well, we're not the program for you. Okay. Nope. I just want to let you know that we're going to get you to be strong. We're going to get you to be nice and lean and fit, and feel good in your body. And you can do that without being extreme, because that's what you need to do. You have to be extreme to be able to get to that extreme body. And we don't believe in being in extreme. We believe in finding that happy balance and that happy medium. And yes, you can have a taco every once in a while and it'll be fine. Yeah. All right. Yes. All right, y'all. Love y'all so much. Thank y'all for coming. And we'll talk to you all on the next podcast. All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.